Hi guys, it's Andy from mcfcfantv. Well, the World Cup is here. Looking forward to Monday, 7 o'clock, England versus Tunisia, which is going to be our first game. This video is all about England and who is Gareth Southgate going to actually pick? Who do you think they're going to pick? What I'd like to do is I'd like to talk about my selection, who I think he will pick, rather than some of the players that I think should be starting, certainly on Monday evening. So, goalkeepers. Well, we've got three. We've got Butland, Pickford and Pope. Personally, I would go for Nick Pope. His save to shot ratio last season when he played for Burnley, which was about half the season, was up at around about 78.3%. Only behind David De Gea, significantly ahead of some of the others like Courtois, even Ederson. However, I do think the first pick, which will be the goalkeeper, I think Gareth Southgate will go for Pickford. So the next part will be, well, what formation do we pick? 3-5-2? Do we go for a 3-4-3? I think it's quite fluid, so rather than just sort of looking at it from a point of view of a set formation, I think it's easier just to pick the players and the formation that I think he'll go for. But please don't forget, give us your formation, give us your players. If you disagree, fine, not a problem. Comment below and tell us who you think Gareth Southgate should pick. And so let's see. So that moves us on to my personal opinion, which will be a 3 at the back. And the first player will be playing on the right of a 3, will be Kyle Walker. I think Walker is a natural sort of wing back, right back. However, it seems that Gareth is going to pick this particular formation. He's already tried him there in the friendlies. I think Walker has even come out and said, you know, it's almost like a step back. However, if he's going to want to play for England at this World Cup, he's going to have to adapt and he's going to have to play in that role, and I think he'll do fantastically well in there. My next pick might be a bit controversial, but I think he'll go for Gary Cahill in the centre of the 3. Cahill brings experience. There are some others that he could pick, like Jones, etc., but I think he will go for Gary Cahill just because of that experience. Playing on the left of the 3, I think, will be John Stones. I think we saw, certainly in the Nigeria game, when Pickford had the ball, or the keeper had the ball, the centre-backs, or the 3 at the back, splitting and going wide, almost like Man City, and Stones seemed to be pulling out to the wide on the left-hand side, so I think John Stones will play on the left. And again, another ball playing centre-back, where Cahill can sit deep. Walker and Stones will be one that will rotate the ball from the back into the midfield, with one of those players coming short. So I think that's my back sort of 4 really. With, I think he'll pick Pickford with Walker, Cahill and Stones on the left hand side. I think next up is the obvious. Well, if he's playing 3 at the back, he's going to play 2 wing backs, and I believe he'll play Trippier wide right, who will bring fantastic crossing ability. Not sure how fantastic he is defensively, but he'll certainly brings a lot of width and really hug that byline. And I think on the left, I think he'll go for Danny Rose. Even though Ashley Young had a decent game in the friendlies, I think Danny Rose just brings that little bit more dynamism and speed to the game, and it gets back a lot quicker than Young does. So that's my 2 wing backs, Trippier on the right and Danny Rose on the left. Now, moving into the midfield, a bit of a minefield. I mean, there's so many different formations we can play, different types of players. I know Eric Dyer played there in the friendlies, but I've got a feeling he's going to go for Jordan Henderson as the holding midfielder. So my first pick for the midfield, in whatever formation you want to call it, whether it be in the 5 or as a 3 or as a 1, is going to be Jordan Henderson as the holding player. Now we need some creativity, and this is where we're getting into the realms of 2 or 3 players who can play that role just ahead of Henderson. Now we've got Lingard, who did alright, but I've got a feeling he's going to go for Dele Alli. And I think he'll play Dele Alli just slightly ahead of Henderson, and he's going to be one that's going to be dictating the play. So then we move on to who's going to play the wide roles. Well, first pick for me, player I absolutely love and had a brilliant season last season, was Raheem Sterling. I think it's a given. He's going to play wide right, probably drift in different formations at different times during the game, but I think he's going to mainly start on the right hand side and then come in and support Harry Kane in the centre regions, whenever we've got the ball or just slightly off the ball. Now, we all know Harry Kane is going to be the captain. Harry Kane is definitely going to play. So Harry Kane is going to be the spearhead up front, and I've got no other reason to think that Gareth will choose somebody else, and he's going to be the captain, so that's almost a given. And then on the left, well, I mean, we've got Welbeck, we've got Vardy, but for me, after his performance in the last friendly, I would personally pick Marcus Rashford, to play on the left. And again, can play a similar role to Raheem Sterling, where he can drift in, can finish, can play in a supporting role. But I don't think it's going to be a natural, well, you might call it a 5 at the back, or you might call it a 3-4-3. I think it's going to be fluid. It's difficult to pinpoint exactly what the formation's going to be, but I think there's going to be lots of interchangeable roles there. And we've got people off the bench. We've got pace in Vardy. We've got Welbeck, who's done all right for England. We've got the likes of Jesse Lingard, even though he's a red, has actually done okay. But that would be my starting 11. Guys, if you think that we should be including the likes of Fabian Delph, maybe, instead of, I don't know, Danny Rose or Ashley Young should be in there, or you think maybe Dyer is deserving of the place ahead of Henderson, then please comment below the video, give us your formation, give us your selections, and tell us what you think about it.